Hello, I'm Elizabeth Porter, and this is a mystery of GMOs. Genetically modified organisms, the National Human Genome Research Institute defines it as a plant, animal, or microbe in which one or more changes has been made to the genome, typically using high-tech engineering. In an attempt to alter the characteristics of the organism, genes can be introduced, enhanced, or deleted within a species, across species, or even across kingdoms. A couple of examples of GMOs would be corn, which is resistant to insects, used in a lot of major processed foods that are in the US right now. It is the number one used GMO. Potatoes and apples are two of the most recent added by the FDA. Potatoes are now resistant to bruising, and apples are resistant to browning even after being cut. Now, why is it of interest? It's been something that has been a big controversy for a while. Ever since it was introduced back in 1996, there wasn't a whole lot of research, as well as there wasn't a lot of regulation as to what they needed to be able to deem these as safe. So not until 2022 did the USDA finally make it mandatory for all of the bioengineered foods to be labeled. Now, the USDA and the FDA are trying to really combat the misknowledge and really help the public understand GMOs. So FDA, one of those was that the FDA came out with a pamphlet explaining how GMOs are made. So for this example, it is corn. They identify and find a corn plant with these traits that they desire. They copy that trait. For corn, it was an insect-resistant trait. Scientists go ahead and insert the gene into the corn plant, and then lastly, they grow it in the lab to see if it gains the desired trait before releasing it to the public or just for commercial use. Now, a couple of controversies around GMOs is mostly the health concerns due to lack of research. So, a lot of the concerns are concerning cancer because they're afraid that the DNA mutations will cause cancer because that's where cancer comes from. Now, they also are concerned with allergies because they are afraid that they will be creating new ones in foods that they hadn't before. People also are concerned about the environmental impact on the bees, if it'll harm them, changing up any of these plants or pollens that they would be harvesting from. Now, even though they've gone ahead and labeled all the food and made it mandatory for them to label it as bioengineered back in 2022, there's still some organizations that feel that the USDA has not gone far enough because they are not using the most generic term that everybody knows, which is GMO. They are labeling them as bioengineered, which they think is creating confusion for the public. Now, you might be asking yourself, where is GMOs going? I don't think that GMOs are going to be going anywhere, even with the public resistance. They will be making appearance in more and more foods that we eat every day. More GMO foods are approved every year, such as potatoes and apples. The USDA is tackling the lack of knowledge by continuing to give people more information and labeling the foods to allow people to make more informed choices. Here is my references. Thank you for my presentation.